And we are joined by Mark Tidwell, a former Stanford Financial vice president, who says he saw warning signs 3 years ago and is suing the firm for wrongful termination. Also in our studio this morning with us, Kelly DEHAY and Ron Danielson, who invested with Stanford Financial. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Mark, let me start with you. When did you first think, things are not kosher here?
Well, there was a pattern that was developing. It began in May of '05. And then in summer of '06, a couple of events took place that got us concerned. And then
and when you confronted officers at the company with these things, what did they say to you?
They told us everything was fine. They said that this was a part of a routine inquiry, that we shouldn't be worried about it, that we should reassure our customers that everything was okay.
And as it turns out, as this inquiry was going on, some fines were levied, but they were like $10,000, $20,000, literally a drop in the bucket. It's barely even, it's such a tiny little penalty. What did that make you think?
Well, that seemed to go along with the things that they were telling us. It was such a small fine that obviously with that small of a fine, it couldn't have been that big of a deal.
All right, let me talk to Kelly and Rod here. What made you decide to invest with Stanford in the first place?
We had our financial advisor left another company and went to Stanford.
Right.
And we had a lot of faith and we had a lot of confidence. And the most important, we had a lot of trust in him.
Had a lot of trust in the guy who sold you the stuff.
Correct.
And what kinds of returns were they talking about? Was it exorbitant, or was it like the Madoff thing? Something steady, something reliable? What?
Right. I mean, we first invested in CDs in middle 2006, just to diversify away from mutual funds and stocks.
Right.
And at that point, the rate that they quoted us was 8.25%,
right,
which at that time, U.S. banks, I think, were paying somewhere in the order of 6%. So we didn't
seem exorbitant or anything
exactly,
else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they told us that despite it not being regulated by U.S. authorities, that they had higher reserve margins than any U.S. bank.
Right.
That it was very safe.
It all looks so good.
Exactly.
Did it feel too good to be true? Because they always say.
No.
It seemed reasonable.
We looked. Everything seemed reasonable. We had no reason to try to make extra. This was just another tool that we felt, another vehicle that we were.
And what percentage of your savings did you plow into there?
About 20%.
And you?
Probably 15%.
Okay. So when you went back in the last week or so to say, okay, I'm hearing all this trouble, let me cash out of this, what did they tell you?
That accounts were frozen for 2 months.
For 2 months? Same with you?
Yes.
Yeah. And what is your response now that you see what has transpired?
It's a little horrifying to put confidence, especially after hearing Mark this morning and say that there were issues back in 2006, and it sounds like it was before we became investors. And I'm just hoping our financial advisor did not do this to us for a fee and a recurring fee each year. Because the brochure did say that.
Wow. So he'd just be peeling off season after season after season after
Correct.
season. Wow. Are you surprised to find yourself here?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, ironically, we thought these CDs were the safest thing in our portfolio when we were seeing mutual fund and stock
things going south.
Going south.
We thought we'd made the best decision.
Apparently not so. Thank you very much all for joining us this morning.